Hey, I just wanted to give you a bit of advice and a bit of instruction about how to use at least one tool to find out some locational information about the Junee Licorice and Chocolate Factory. So we're just going to do a quick Google search for 6 maps, and the results that you should come up with, the first one is all we need really. So if we click on this, it'll come up probably with a box asking you if you need a bit of a hand or if you want to look for something. We're just going to start with a statewide map. So we're just going to close this box, and then we're going to use the search function up in the top left hand corner. So I'm going to just type in Junee, so we'll be able to see where the suburb is, and it's in the Riverina region of New South Wales. So that means it's near the Murrumbidgee River, and I suppose not too far from the Murray River either. Once we're hovering over the town of Junee, you can see here it's got the major rail line which runs between Sydney and Melbourne, and the train does stop there at Junee if you take the overnight passenger train. It takes about 12 hours by train to get from Melbourne to Sydney, so some people do break it up. Once we're over Junee, it's got 43 points of interest that they've tagged on the map, and they are labelled and categorised by what type of point of interest they are. So as I hover over some of them, you'll be able to see them maybe pop up on the screen. There's the railway station, it's just pinged in the centre. And then if I go to the golf course, it's just pinged over on the right hand side of the map here. So what we're going to look for, because it's a major tourist attraction, is the Junee Licorice and Chocolate Factory. And they've labelled it a historic site. So if I click on that, it'll redirect the map over to the Junee factory, and we're able to look at the surrounds. So if I just minimize this for a moment, you'll be able to see that the major train line and roads are still visible. There's a lot of empty space here, and this used to be, I think, the racecourse and showgrounds. We do have a couple of caravan parks dotted around the place as well, and you can see that the residential areas of the town are surrounded by the agricultural region as well. I think we've got Monte Cristo, the haunted house, just south of where we are pinged. So I'm going to zoom in. I hope I'm pressing the right one. Yep, zoom in a little bit further so we can see to a fuller extent the site of the Junee factory. And what we might do is just have a look at maybe some of the dimensions first. So at the top here we've got a tool, if I can hover over it better, an area tool. So if I click on that, I might measure the site of Junee. So I'm going to double click to start. And now that I've double clicked, I've anchored one of the points in the corner. And I just need to click every time that I want to put a corner to my shape. So I'm going to double click again to end it, and what it will happen is on the bottom left of the screen it'll come up with the area of the site. So that area of the site there is at 1.9 hectares and the perimeter of 677 meters. So it's a pretty substantial site for a factory, but the main factory, I might just get rid of that because we don't need that anymore, and I'll just zoom in one more time. The main factory is actually in this building here. This building that we can see with the grey coloured metal roof was the old flour mill, and that now houses a restaurant, a gift shop, as well as the Junee Licorice and Chocolate Factory store. And this roof here, which has the colourful roofing, is still part of the factory as well, and that's where you see more of the mechanical side of the factory, the production of the licorice and chocolate, as well as the tourist area where they can walk around the factory too. So the Junee factory actually does encompass the sites either side. So this building now houses, I think they do some tourist attractions like ride on tractors, and they also house in there a bit of a museum of oddities and mechanical vehicles. I think down here is just more of a scrapyard, and there's also some staff parking here as well. So one of the things I wanted to do, because we are tagged onto the Junee site at the moment, is to maybe try and calculate the distance between Junee and some other places. So if I zoom out slightly, and I'm only doing this a little bit at the moment because I want to find what distance Junee is in relation to the next biggest regional centre, which will be Wagga Wagga, which you can see down here. So if I get my distance tool, that's this one here with the ruler, but I've just got to hover over it in the right way, and I just double click to ping it onto Junee, and I'm just going to aim for the heart of Wagga Wagga, and it tells me that it is about almost 34 kilometres, and for me that's sort of a northeast or northeast, I guess, distance from Wagga Wagga to the nearest regional centre or sponge centre. What I might also do, still with the idea that I'm calculating Junee's distance from some other known locations to find its relative location, is I might even aim to see where it is in relation to Sydney. Now I have zoomed out quite a lot, so maybe I go a bit closer so you can see. We've got Sydney here. Now it depends where we want to measure to and from Sydney. I might again just aim for the sort of central area of Sydney around Parramatta. So I'll get my distance tool again. I'm going to start on Junee, and I'm going to finish off in the centre of Sydney, Parramatta. So it's about 340 kilometres. Again, if we're going to Sydney, it'll be in a north-easterly sort of direction. From Sydney to Junee, we're travelling southwest. So there's not much more that I'd probably use on here, so I will just leave it at that for the moment.